you asked and we are going to answer. Today we are answering some of your biggest questions about Disney World, about us, about life.
What is the meaning of life?
Let's get started. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you know we have a host for this event. Uma. Alright, babes. Hi, my name's Uma and I'm going to be hosting this evening. So first off, we're going to start with your burning Disney World questions, but I'm not going to lie to you, we're not going to do too many of them because we talk about Disney World all the time, and you can go to AllEars.net and get the most up-to-date news, full explanations on everything. Like, there's a lot you can find over there, and on our social media, of course. But we're gonna do a few, maybe some topics we haven't talked about a lot, and then we're gonna jump into some more behind the scenes things. So you're gonna have to kind of stick around for the exciting BTS, not the band, behind the scenes. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so for the first question, you guys wanted to know, Disney dads, give tips on parks/cruises with babies or toddlers. Take it away.
I am a new dad, so I am still learning as I go. But I have learned my biggest tip that I could say from a new dad perspective when you're bringing your kid or toddler or infant to the park for the first time, I would say go in with super low expectations of doing anything. And I know that sounds extreme, but it's, I don't want you to go in there and go, oh man, my kid is gonna love every character. We're gonna ride as many things as we can because my 9-month-old knows that I spent a lot of money, so they're not gonna poop, they're gonna eat when I say they are, and they're gonna sleep when I say they are. If those are your expectations, then stay home. We just filmed our very first, both Dustin and I, and Quincy and Mortimer, we just filmed their first Disney Dads video, and first off, Dustin's daughter and my daughter, they're 3 months apart, which means they're at that early age, they're on different nap schedules. So we were on opposite schedules, so we couldn't really do a bunch of things together. We had to stop a bunch of times because they got fussy and they needed to eat. So going with super adjusted expectations, enjoy your time because it's still a lot of fun. You're seeing, if you've been to Disney before, you're seeing Disney in a whole new way because you're experiencing it kind of through them, which is super cool. And I enjoy it now more every time I get to go with her because as she gets older, she gets more aware. She loves Winnie the Pooh. She loves the Little Mermaid ride, but hates Ursula. So these are things that we're learning, and it's super exciting and super fun.
So for our next question about Disney, they wanted to know tips and tricks for how to deal with rider swap. I'm bringing my daughter for the first time. First, that's so exciting. And second, we actually have an expert in rider swap because she has a friend whom I'm obsessed with her baby on a personal level, and Quincy's gotten to go to the parks with her. So Quincy, tell us all about the rider swap.
Very exciting, Michelle. That's so exciting. But yeah, rider swap, the good news is you don't need a lot of tips and tricks. It's that easy. So many attractions have rider swap. It's pretty much anything that has a height requirement. Your first step is going to be to ask the cast members if rider swap is an option. It's available for these attractions that are on the screen now. Basically, if you use Rider Switch, you get split into two parties. Party 1 is going to be those riding, and Party 2 is going to be the non-rider and at least one adult who's supervising. Party 1 will then go ride the attraction, wait in the line, ride the attraction, and then come back. After that point, Party 2 will then be able to ride without waiting in the regular standby line a second time. Now, typically it'll just be a straight party for party switch, but in the instance that the person that waited with the non-rider waited alone, they can have one other person ride with them so that they're not riding the ride alone. This works out really great for families that have 2 kiddos, because if there's a non-riding kiddo, it usually means that the riding kiddo will get to go with both parents, and kiddos really like that. Audrey and David, who are the 10-year-olds we spoke to during our 10-year-old planned our day, Audrey loves this. David doesn't love coasters, tends to skip them, which means Audrey gets to ride the coasters with both mom and dad, which is pretty awesome. Rider Switch is super easy. Do not feel intimidated by it. Just speak to cast members. It's absolutely an amazing asset for families with little ones, and I can't recommend it enough. You just need 2 adults because you need someone to be supervising your non-rider and your adult rider.
Thank you, Quincy, for the really wonderful tips. Next up, we're going to be talking to two lovely ladies because we want to know what is in your park bag. This one's going to get juicy. Luckily, I have mine with me. This is literally the bag I packed and took with me to the parks yesterday. I've only added one thing, and the only reason I added it is because normally I have one and I used it yesterday.
That is a very good question, and I will tell you right now, I bring quite a bit of things with me into the parks. And I say that knowing that you won't need all the things that I need to bring into the parks, because I need to bring certain things into the parks for work.
First thing, my wallet and my keys. I'm using this Lululemon keychain and wallet combo. There you go. Next, I have this, it's like a medicine case, and I just keep a lot of different things in it. I've labeled it for myself, so like allergy, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Benadryl, all that good jazz.
My laptop. Most of the time, I do bring my laptop in case I need to get anything done in the parks. I need all of those chargers, phone charger. I bring portable chargers. I bring a lot of those. I probably, on any given day, will probably have at least 5 portable chargers on me at all times.
Okay. Next, I have, still plugged into the charger. I have this literally 6-foot long charger because we are always working on our phones, and I don't like holding a big block charger in my hand and my phone, and so 9 times out of 10 I will toss my block charger in here and I will just let the cord be a hazard, probably, to be honest. Next, I have 2 chargers. I keep this block charger with me at all times, and it actually is solar powered, so it charges with the sun. You can literally see it just lit up because I'm holding it towards the sun. It's not the strongest, but it definitely gets me through a park day. I also always have this charger because, again, we are always on our phones. They die more frequently than the average Joe's, and so this one is one of the anchor blocks, and it attaches to my mag case, so it's magnetic. Really like both of them.
Also always have to have a water bottle, stay hydrated. With that, sometimes if it's in the summer or if I'm feeling a little low on energy, I'll bring like electrolytes, powder, that kind of thing. Sunglasses and sunscreen is very, very important. Even not just in the summer months, but anytime, sunscreen is important. You're gonna be out in the sun all day, and even if it doesn't feel like it's super hot and the UV ray is not that big of a deal, you're probably gonna get sunburned. So protect your skin, sunscreen all the time.
I have this tiny Florida Blue Medicaid first aid kit in case anybody needs that. I have my favorite sunglasses. If you know me, you know I have literally 4 pairs of these, not kidding. Next is some lip chapstick, Summer Fridays.
I might have a little snack with me. Sometimes I bring fruit snacks. I don't always want to buy something from the parks because sometimes they're a bit heavier and fried. So sometimes I need something more sustainable than that.
Next, this is the one thing I added, and it's an Uncrustable. And I have these almost always on hand. If you saw our rides, if you saw our roller coaster ride race challenge, you will know. If you know, you know.
Sometimes I'll bring a change of clothes, and that could be either because it might rain and my socks might get wet, or sometimes we're taking photos for our style account, so I'll have to bring multiple outfits to do that.
A DJI, which is what we film on. You guys have asked about that quite a bit. It's called a DJI, tiny little camera. Love this guy, and it takes pictures. And then a fuel rod. I always have a fuel rod with me. I don't think I have anything in the sides, and in the front, just my AirPods.
Sometimes I bring my rain gear. I don't always bring my rain gear, and you all yell at me for it, so I'm trying to be better. But sometimes I can't bring a rain poncho and a sweatshirt all in my backpack. I'm already bringing too much anyway, so I need to pick a sweatshirt or a rain jacket, and sometimes I pick the sweatshirt and not the rain jacket, and then I end up paying for it, okay? I know.
That's what's in my park bag, but heavy reminder, I know that Fry is also answering this, but we're not parents. We don't have to take as much. We also eat in the parks most of the time. So there's going to be some people who have significantly bigger park bags. There's some people who only travel with fanny packs. This is just what I legitimately take every single day with me. to Disney World?
Really, moral of the story, I bring a lot. My bag is heavy. But yet we still have fry speed.
I don't know the answers yet, what each lady has answered, but I know in my heart that Fry had a lot and Emma had a little, I'm assuming, and that's very funny. So kudos to both of you. Wonderful park bags. Now, let's move on to some more newsy things that maybe you've not even heard about yet, or maybe is a little bit confusing to you. And I think that this question kind of encompasses that. We want to know, what is the deal with the Magic Kingdom expansion? I'm so glad you asked. Emma, if you don't know, in 2022 at D23, the D23 Expo, Disney started teasing about a project that they're working on called Beyond Big Thunder Mountain. They mentioned things like Coco, Encanto, Disney Villains, all for that section behind Big Thunder Mountain. And you might be thinking, there's nothing back there. It's like Tom Sawyer Island and the railroad tracks. There is space. Disney has so much space that we're not even aware of, but there is space behind Big Thunder. So for example, Jennifer Lee, and I'm gonna read this so I don't get it wrong. Jennifer Lee said, what if you could walk into the Madrigal's Casita? What if Mirabelle is your guide? What if you could step up to the door and discover your own magical gifts? Bruce Vaughn, who is the creative chief officer of Walt Disney Imagineering, said that the future expansions were literally going to be the largest ever for Magic Kingdom Park, and they're just looking forward to telling those stories. One thing that's really important to understand is Beyond Big Thunder, when they were talking about it and when they've talked about it since, they are describing it almost like a new Pandora world of Avatar, a new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That's the kind of things you need to be thinking along the lines of new rides, new restaurants, new entertainment. An entire new land is essentially what they're proposing. Now that makes a lot of sense because Disney has essentially promised to invest $60 billion with a B, $60 billion into parks, experiences, and products of the segment of the company over the next 10 years. But honestly, what's the deal with it? We don't know. We don't know yet. Disney has not necessarily confirmed any of these big blue sky ideas. We just know the expansion is currently happening, but Disney has often shared concept art for things that don't necessarily work out. Beastly Kingdom, you can find concept art. The Mount Fuji ride that was going to be in Epcot, you can find a lot of that stuff. So it's not to say that all of that is happening, but the last time Disney spoke about it in a super public way, that was the information that we got. If you want more up-to-date information that happens a lot more quickly, definitely check out AllEars.net, or even we're good friends with Disney Food Blog. All of these websites, they're much faster than our YouTube videos can even be, even though we do these as fast as we can. To give you good quality content with good editing, it takes a few days. So if you want in the moment news, make sure to check out our blog and even our socials and stuff. And that's where you're gonna find out the quickest information as we find it out, especially about things like Beyond Big Thunder. Oh, I am so glad Emma answered that question because honestly, I didn't even know all of that. So thank you, Emma, for doing the research. I had no idea. Now, this is our last official Disney World question, but it's honestly kind of getting into the personal questions. So, viewers want to know, what is your favorite thing to do in each park when you go a lot, and what do you do to change things up? Breed Love, you're gonna know the most. Tell us all about it.
Well, when I'm in a Walt Disney World park as either an All Ears reporter or when I'm filming a video for All Ears YouTube, I'm always looking out for other people. I'm never attending just for myself. I'm always looking from the perspective of different kinds of people, families. I almost never come with a group, especially not with young kids to Walt Disney World, but those are things that I always have to think about because I want to bring the most helpful, useful information to the most people. And not that many people are interested in what Disney World is like for a single 42-year-old man riding rides by himself. That's not how most people are going to Walt Disney World. So when I do go for fun, I am putting my phone down and I am not recording. Sometimes I see something and it's irresistible, like there'll just be some breaking news or like some magical moment happening that I have to capture, but I try my best to keep my phone in my pocket and let myself experience Walt Disney World and enjoy it for me, because I think it's important for us to keep doing that. Like, that is a practice that's very important for all of the All Ears cast members, for us to continue enjoying Walt Disney World for ourselves, because we have to replenish that enthusiasm and we have to stay in the magic for ourselves. Because when you dissect the magic to help other people avoid problems and anticipate potential disaster, you're looking at a lot of things very critically. And I think it's important to do that, and I love my job and I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it's absolutely vital that I go sometimes keep my phone in my pocket and I just ride rides and eat food and just watch shows and enjoy Walt Disney World for myself.
So that is really it for our Disney World section. We're not going to be talking about a lot because, again, check out the AllEars.net blog. All of these questions that you want to know about Disney World in particular, they're there, and there's a lot of tips and tricks on the channel. But today, we're going to be talking about some of those burning questions that maybe we don't always get to. And a lot of you guys wanted to know about BTS, editor BTS, behind the scenes. So today we're going to do a little bit of an inside look at some behind the scenes magic with AllEars cast. Let's get started. Here we go. So for our first behind the scenes question, you guys wanted to know, what is the planning process for park days, especially challenges? Plan to the minute or go with the wind? That is such a good question, and I think the best person to talk about this is our momager extraordinaire, dad of the group, Quincy. Quincy, let us know.
This is a really good question. So kind of a mix. What we usually do for most challenges or perfect days is we will have a shot list. We have a shot list for every video. And in the shot list, there will be a list of either things that we have to accomplish or like a challenge. There's things we have to accomplish. We'll have the list. And often we'll have it sorted by like, these are GD Plus attractions, these are non-GD Plus attractions, these are timed shows that have specific times with every time available, but bolded the ones we're aiming for. Or for a perfect day, we'll have a list that is kind of options of what we can do with our day. We'll have our high priority list of things we definitely want to do during a perfect day, and then a lower priority list of like if we have time or we need to kill some time, but while we wait for a lightning lane, we can do the lower priority. So it's usually just a general list that we're selecting from during the day. But for big eventy things like the Flower and Garden or Food and Wine, Epcot festivals are great examples. Holiday parties and things like that, those are planned to the minute, to the T, because we're typically doing live reporting to our teams at home as well, and they need to know where we're planning to be. So we have actual schedules that we're going through to try to get through those like in a very specific order. So if it's a higher stakes newsy sort of situation, we will see that we have things planned to a T. And then for some of the more travel-based challenges, for instance, when Emma and I do the challenges where we go across the country, things are usually planned pretty aggressively to a T so that we can accomplish what we need to before a flight or after a flight. So it just depends on the video, but most of the time we're kind of selecting from a list.
Now, our next behind the scenes question is very much in that same vein, and it's essentially, how do you come up with everything on the back end? Well, there's actually quite a bit, so we're gonna let Emma take this one from here. Emma, you go, girl. I keep looking in different directions because I don't know where she's at. A lot of it, honestly, is what we're interested in. Quincy in particular, she watches a lot of YouTube. She gets a lot of inspiration from there. We love shows. We love the movie Clue, so we did Clue. Sage loves Trader, so we're doing a Trader video. A lot of stuff is just inspired by what we're excited about, what we're interested in, and frankly, what you guys ask for. In particular, Genie Plus is a huge thing we talk about because for a long time that was a really, really confusing system, and frankly it still is, but you guys understand it a little bit better. So tips and tricks, basically things that people ask for, things that we think are hard and we want to learn, so that way we can tell you guys so you guys don't have to stress about it. People on the back end submitting us ideas, and even you guys send us ideas all the time. I mean, every single question we're answering today is from you guys. So it's a lot of collaboration, a lot of just excitement and passion, and just frankly stuff that we're interested in. Great answer, Emma. That's so much on the back end. That's really, I don't know, it's a lot, and it's very exciting to kind of see how it all gets made, right? Now, our next question is, do you guys all get along in real life? Seems like a family. I know someone who loves her people and loves her friends so much, so I'm gonna let her take this one as well. Emma, tell us all about it.
This one asking, so you guys want to know, do we get along in real life? You said it seems like a family, and that is so sweet. And I can honestly say, like, truly with my heart, we all get along so well. I know that I have had personal, like, off-camera experiences with every single one of the cast members on camera that mean the world to me. Quincy and I run around, Cassie and I run around. Even when Fry's here, she'll come over if she's staying with Quincy and we'll do our nails together. You know, Sage, we all went to his birthday last year. Like, we forgot his birthday this year, which is a horrible thing to bring up because we didn't forget it. I texted him on his birthday. Quincy came to my wedding. That's how close we are. Like, that's how much fun we all have together and how much we really get along. And I'll show a photo. I think I have a photo of me and Quincy at my wedding. If I don't have the photo, here's a photo of Quincy at my wedding. But the answer is yes, we all do get along really, really well. And I think I speak for myself, but I also speak for everyone when we say none of us ignore or none of us like overlook the fact that we are all so lucky that we get along and have such a good time together, and then also choose to hang out outside of work and talk to each other about stuff that isn't just work and have real true friendships. And I think that is very, very rare and special, and something that we are all so grateful for.
That was so sweet, you guys. Oh, I just love it. All right, for our next behind the scenes question, we want to know, what do your days look like when you're not filming? So that really means all of us have jobs here at AllEars that aren't just being on camera. So we're gonna let the boys take this one a little bit. Everyone does something off camera. You guys tell us all about it.
A big thing that we do, all 5 of us on our team, is we're each responsible for creating a number of videos for Instagram, shorts on YouTube, carousels on Instagram as well. Emma, her baby is AllEars style, so she is constantly sending us photos and pictures of outfits that, hey, do you like this? Hey, how can we jazz this style up a bit? Do you have any accessories you might want to go with this? This power line, this is little AllEars style that will be featured in a video at some point. But that's her baby. A big thing that I do, just because of my creative direction background with theater and events and things like that. I'm a director when I'm not doing this. Quincy, and she always brings me in for pacing notes, which this sounds like kind of weird and processy, but basically I watch a lot of the videos and I give notes, especially on the first cuts around. Both Fry and I do this. Quincy does this as well. We give notes on all the videos, so if a bit isn't landing, or I think the joke isn't as funny as I thought I did in the moment, I'll say, oh, cut this, or hey, I think people are gonna tune out during this part. Can we shorten this?
Well, most of my days I'm not filming. Most of my days I am a reporter for AllEars, and I am looking for anything that has changed overnight in Walt Disney World. One day a week I film a YouTube video, and I love this because it's a really easy way for me to retain everything because I'm experiencing it firsthand, and I'm the one sending it in and reporting that this thing has changed, or that this is new, or that it's a different color, or whatever the case may be, a different flavor. I have had that firsthand experience interacting with it and discovering it, and that allows my brain to hold on to that information. And then when I'm walking around the parks filming my one YouTube video a week, I am able to access that information in a way that I don't believe I would be able to at my age, without having experienced it firsthand. I'm not somebody that like looks down and reads a bunch of stuff and it's in my brain. That's not the way I work. I have to see it, I have to experience it, I have to interact with it. And as a reporter for All Ears, I get to do that with everything. And then I get to bring that information to you, which is the best part.
And another thing that I do really is I come up with a lot of the the larger game concepts with Quincy, like the storyline ones. So The Bachelor, the murder mystery. I do a lot of the game creation for it. The Traitor, those big kind of silly reality game show / all ear videos. That's a lot of me and working with Quincy and kind of developing the story and all those kind of fun things.
The next question is someone wants to know, where do you get all of the Disney merch that you're wearing? And there is one person in particular on this team who I think feels very passionately about this, so I'm gonna let her answer. Emma? It's kind of weird talking to myself like that.
Okay, Uma, thank you for giving this one to me. Where do we get all of our Disney merch? Y'all, I literally have a passion for Disney shopping and merchandise and just anything that we get to do and wear and enjoy in the parks. And if you don't know, you probably hear me shamelessly plug it all the time, but we have an Instagram. It's called All Ears Style. Please go check it out. It is like my baby, and we all kind of contribute in our own ways of different shirts that we're interested in, different jewelry, accessories. We test things out in the park to know if they're really worth your money, and just kind of give inspo and give tips and things on what you can expect for different times of the year throughout, coming to Orlando and things. So that's where we get all of our Disney merch. You can find out all of it's over there. But yeah, I get my Disney merch from anywhere and everywhere. I'm not picky. I don't have necessarily a favorite place. I love Etsy though. If we're just talking broad, Etsy has so many amazing small brand creators that just make really good stuff, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, check out All Your Style, and then you can find the exact location for almost every single item that we're wearing. And I hope you love it, because I really love it, and I'm working hard on it.
Now, with all of this behind the scenes talk, we actually have some friends who want to know if they could work for us. So that's one of the questions we had a handful of times. How can I possibly work with All Ears in the future? I don't even know where the accent's going at this point.
Ooh, this is a very good question. How can I possibly work with All Ears in the future? Well, that's very exciting. You're already on the right track. You're watching All Ears videos, and of course, if you've asked this question, you're also following us on Instagram and all of the other things. So you're already on the right track. But I will say, anytime we are looking to hire for our team, we will post about it on our social media. So make sure you're following us on Instagram at AllEars.net. Most of the time we will probably post it on our stories and just say, hey, we're looking to expand the team. Click on the link and the link will tell you everything. So just keep an eye out. But that's really exciting. So I'm sure you're already a Disney expert, so we could use someone like you on the team.
Now, with all of the really exciting stuff that we get to do, you guys were really curious about what non-Disney vacation would we all like to go on and plan in the future. So I think everyone honestly has a very different opinion, so everybody answer, everybody kiki and enjoy. Tell us.
Non-Disney vacation, because I'm such a big live entertainment theater person. I love when I get to take my trips to New York. They're some of my favorite times, and we literally just go show to show to show to show. Our last trip to New York was about 5 days long. We landed at 11 a.m. We saw a show at 2. We had lunch at happy hour in between shows. Then we saw another show that night, and then continued, because that's our favorite thing we get to do, is just go see shows and see some friends and support each other.
And my answer is going to be Norway or New Zealand. I've been to New Zealand before and want to go again, but Norway is one of my must-dos. I love to see the Northern Lights, explore Norway, so that's going to be mine.
I would also really love to go to the UK, the West End, to see some more shows over there.
I haven't had the time to think about a vacation not in Disney for the past however many years. But I will say very soon, in a few weeks, my family is going on a vacation to Colorado, and we're going skiing, and it will be my first time ever skiing. I just bought all of my cute ski clothes. the other day. I'm gonna be in purple, my sister's in pink, and my mom's in blue. The outfits are very important, of course, you know that. So I think that's gonna be my answer for now.
But typically when someone says, Sage, you work so hard between all the things you do, what are you doing for your vacation? And I say my ultimate, and this is my favorite way I vacation, is an all-inclusive in Mexico. I think there is for a performer who is always nervous about, money and because actors, starving artists, all that jazz, you get it. For performers who are always nervous about money, it's amazing to put your wallet away in a safe and you've just got some cash for tips, and literally everything is paid for. Food, drinks, you sit by a pool, you sleep and you drink and you eat and you jet ski all day long. It's my favorite kind of vacation.
I want to go on a Virgin cruise. And the main reason I want to prioritize going on a Virgin cruise versus a Disney cruise is the fact that it very much caters to people who eat a plant-based diet. There's tons of vegan food. The idea of getting on a boat and having like one option per restaurant versus multiple options per restaurant sounds like a dream. Like, I love it. So Virgin cruise, one of these days I'm getting on a Virgin cruise.
Ooh, okay. I actually think I'm gonna go on all those vacations. If that's okay with everyone, put one seat down for Uma. I do have a passport in case we need to travel, so you just let me know. Next up in our BTS questions, you guys really wanted to know, will we ever do another dessert party? So we're gonna tell you, if you don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna talk about it, and then we'll tell you if maybe yes or no, but the answer's leaning towards yes. We hope.
The official answer is yes, we hope so. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, very recently, we actually got to work with our friends who are our travel agents, MEI Travel. If you guys don't know about them, they're really wonderful. We have worked with them for a really long time. And we kind of got to partner up and they hosted a dessert party and they invited us to come out, and you guys bought tickets, and then we were all there together and we got to hang out and have a really good time. And MEI kind of coordinated all of that for us. It was so much fun. And it was just kind of like a little meetup where we got to meet you guys and chat, and we met some people that we talk with every single Saturday and Tuesday in the videos and in our live chats. And it was so much fun, and it meant so much to all of us to kind of have those in-person connections. And it was really cool. And it was at Epcot, and we just really enjoyed it. So the answer is we all want to do another one. We really hope that we can schedule them. Our goal is a lot more of them in 2024. We don't have an official one planned right now, but if you will check out the link in this description, you can sign up and put your email in, and we will be sending you updates as those new events happen. So the answer is yes, but we aren't quite sure when or how or what that will look like.
That's some really exciting stuff. You're gonna catch me at the next dessert party probably. Uma, I just really think I should be there for the next one. I don't know. Now, there's a lot of fun stuff, but we've talked a lot about the behind the scenes, but one of the last questions you guys really asked a lot is, a lot about how does it get made, but in particular, how many hours does it take to edit your YouTube videos? So Quincy probably knows the most about that, so we're gonna let Quincy take this one away, but I can already tell you it varies.
So I talked to our editors. We have 3 editors who work with us to get our 7 videos a week edited. And they said that it really does vary on the video. It depends on who's hosting the video, depends on how many graphics are needed, depends on how complicated the video concept is. On the shorter end, you're looking at about 4.5 hours for our fastest, easiest videos to edit. And on the longer end, you're looking at sometimes a very long time. One of our editors who edited our last To Leave video said that one took him over 33 hours to edit. But on average, they take between like 5 and 10 hours depending on the video concept. And that's all in. All of our videos go through several rounds of notes. At minimum, it's 1 round of notes. Often it's 2 or 3 rounds of notes. And so all in, that's how long it takes to edit them.
Now it is time for the final round of questions, and right now we're going to talk about the AllEars cast personal questions. Let's get personal. All right, so this is a question for everyone on the cast, and we're starting off small. We don't want to just like dive into the ocean, right? So we're gonna just dip our toes in. Our viewers want to know, how long have you been with AllEars? So everyone tell us, everyone drop in your little tidbits.
I have been working with AllEars since late 2019, so it'll be 5 years this year. Math.
I cannot believe I'm about to say this. I've been with AllEars for almost 2 years, which is so crazy. I started as a writer and reporter, totally behind the scenes, and then this happened and it was really cool, and then I blinked and suddenly it's 2 years later.
I have been with AllEars since 2021. I was hired back in 2021 and I was a behind the scenes producer for about a year before I was ever asked to be on camera.
Almost 2 years, really full-time for about a year, because I was doing the Galactic Star Cruiser before that and then doing a little bit of double duty.
The very first time I worked for AllEars was during an interview for RTT, which is short for Remember That Time. It was a show that was on AllEars in 2020. In the fall of 2020, it premiered, but the first time I was interviewed for it was in June of 2020. So I guess we're coming up on 4 years. The 4-year anniversary this June 2024. It'll be 4 years that I have technically worked with, in some capacity, AllEars.
Oh, that's really sweet, you guys. You've been here for so long. That's crazy. Now we're gonna kind of start getting a little bit more exciting. So we want to know, what is your favorite thing about working for AllEars? Now, we can't all answer this question because honestly that would take forever, but I feel like I know people who are very passionate, and I think those two should maybe take this one.
I have said this a million times, and I'll say it again and again and again. I love my team. I love the people.
Definitely going to Disney World every day. How could it not be? I mean, that's the whole reason I moved, down here to Orlando. I wanted to be close to Disney World. I wanted to go as much as possible and hopefully get a job that was somehow related to either working for or working about Walt Disney World.
Emma and I have become really good friends, almost work spouses. Quincy is like my sister. Because Quincy and I are close in age, it feels like we have that brother-sister bond where we can, laugh at literally anything. And then we start sarcastic with each other and then laugh again.
And I love meeting people that connect with the work that we do when we're in Walt Disney World, because we have this magical opportunity to create content about this place, tell you everything about it, and then you show up for your vacation and we're there because guess what? We're doing it every day. We really have to be there, and it's not hype. Like, we literally, this is our only job. This is our only point of existing in life, is to go to Walt Disney World and bring you all of the latest information and show you how everything works, what everything looks like, and exactly what to expect when you spend a ton of money to come here with your family or friends on vacation.
Now our next question does get a little bit more personal, gets a little bit more into the family side of things. So someone wants to know, are Quincy and Sage brother and sister? I can't wait to see what they have to say. Take it away, you cute little twins.
Yeah.
We are?
We are twin Swedish dancing duo.
Why did I go German? We are vaguely German.
Vaguely German Swedish.
It's bi-coastal.
And we are
Okay, so no, we're not actually brother and sister. But I think the reason we give that vibe is literally. Oh, by the way, we're in the Adventureland Bazaar. Should we explain that? How bizarre! Because I think we come from the same background in a sense.
Yeah.
We were both musical theater performers. We're both kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
We like a lot of the same
The first
things.
day Sage and I filmed alone together, we literally the whole day we were like, we're from the same aisle of the store. Like everything.
We got the same aisle. We say that all the time.
Same aisle of the store. And so
even flying insects we hate. And
we
so
both hate flying
we're
insects.
both Slytherin, and she
Yeah.
was like, anytime she says something that I also agree, we'll just text each other. Same aisle.
Same aisle. So we just are similar people, and then also everybody in the AllEars team has to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And we discuss a lot that you do get kind of a sibling vibe of like.
Oh, that's nice.
They're my favorite little duo. They're so funny. All right, next up, we have to know, we've all been itching. Why did you join the cast?
I personally joined because I was a super fan. I was a mega consumer of AllEars and of Disney Food Blog, and I really liked it to the point where, you know, it's kind of like how I am now with the local news team on News 6. I've got to be a fan of something.
For me, I actually worked for AllEars as a writer for about a year before I ever went on camera, and then sort of got asked and decided if I wanted to try it out and liked it, so I'm still around on camera.
I joined the AllEars cast, honestly, because I did not realize that I was. When I got my job, I was just a writer and reporter behind the scenes, and I had, you know, talked with them when we were like interviewing and stuff, but I just did not think that that was an option, to be totally honest. And there was one day they had slated me for filming, and I got there and I was like, all right, what do I need to film of you guys? What do you want me to film of you, holding the camera, of you, like a production? Like, I thought I was doing a production thing. And they were like, no, we need you to talk. And that's just how, like, that's how it happened.
Just like I said earlier, when we hire, we're going to post about it on our social media, and that's how I found it. I found the link through an Instagram story, and I applied for it. I actually, this job that I have now, that I got the job for, was actually the second time I applied to work here. So the first job application that I applied to was not the right fit for me. I knew that going into it. I was not going to get it, but I wanted everyone to know that I existed and to see a little bit of my resume and background. So I went ahead and applied, didn't get that one. And then this job came through as a video producer, and I said, I have the expertise for that. I know what I'm doing. I can do everything you're asking me to and more.
Back in 2022, I opened the Galactic Star Cruiser. I was an original cast member as well as a workshop cast member, and I opened that show on March 1st of 2022. And on one of the first cruises, there happened to be this, you know, ginger named Quincy. We had some fun interaction. We ended up, you know, becoming a little bit of friends on Instagram. Finally, after maybe like a month, they reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey, Sage, I know you're super busy, but we're looking for some on-screen you know, personality types. Do you know anybody that would be interested? You know, and I said, whoa, your boy's interested.
For our next question, somebody wants to know who was a cast member / a participant of the Disney College program, and where did you work? Now this one, we actually have a few people that get to answer, so you beauties, take it away.
I was a cast member for a couple years, a lot of years apart actually. And fun fact, I've been fired from the company twice.
I was a cast member. I did the Disney College program.
So the Disney College program is basically an internship program for students in college, or you can do it up to 6 months after you graduate, which is how I did it. So I graduated college in May of 2019 and then started my DCP that June, so the next month. So if you don't want to miss out on a whole semester of your college experience, I get that. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to miss that. So I did my DCP after graduating college. So that could be a good thing for you as well.
It's really a lot of fun. It's super interesting. You live in Disney housing, and then you come and work and hang out and have a good time, but it is still a job. So I got to do that, and I had a handful of locations that I worked at. For my first little bit, I worked at the Boardwalk, Disney's Boardwalk Inn, and I loved it so much. I was in quick service, and so Disney, oftentimes you don't necessarily just work at one location if you have like a quick service job. They normally will train you for your area, and then you'll get scheduled specific places most of the time, but I rotated. So I worked at what used to be Ample Hills. Crying, I loved Ample Hills. I worked at the Boardwalk Bakery, which is now the Boardwalk Deli, and I worked at the Pizza Window, which is still Pizza Window.
I was asked to audition to be a puppeteer for Disney, so then I did, for a very, 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 very short time, I did Playhouse Disney. I trained to be a puppeteer for Playhouse Disney, which is before Disney Junior Dance Party. It was the puppet show. And then I told them, I emailed Disney and I said, hey, so the summer's over. I'm going back to school. So I'll see you guys maybe for winter break. And because I was 16, I turned off my email and I didn't look back. And 16 was like, no. You still work for us, but you just work on weekends and things like that. And I was like, I didn't read my emails. And then 2 weeks later, I got a termination notice that was like, you didn't show up for work 2 weeks in a row, so you out. I didn't know I was a 16-year-old. Things happen.
So my first month that I was there, I worked at Woody's Lunchbox for about a month. And I thought that was going to be my whole college program. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun working. At the time, I forgot what they were called, but those kind of after hours events, those were really fun to work. And then after about a month, I got asked to move to Galaxy's Edge opening team. So starting in July, I was in Galaxy's Edge in Docking Bay 7 every day while they were actively building the land. Like, it was a crazy experience. For a little bit, we weren't allowed to walk outside of the restaurant because it was still an active construction zone. And so sometimes the doors would open and we'd see people walking through with hard hats and we'd hear all the noises and everything. So
then in 2019, I got hired to be the singer MC for Move It, Shake It, Mouse Could Dance It, which was my very first equity role at Disney World. I was with Mickey Mouse, I was with Minnie Mouse, I was on a float, I was going down Main Street, I was singing in front of the castle. I was in Magic Kingdom. It was what an entrance into performing at Disney World. And then after that, I got a chance to be Fin Fiesta in the Disney Junior Dance Party, which was a lot of fun. What you see now is not the Disney Junior Dance Party. For some reason, the sign is still up, but it's not that. It's Disney Junior Play and Dance. What I did was Disney Junior Dance Party, and that's where the two singers came out, and they did more songs and dances, and it was a 20-minute show. Still a baby rave, but it was a 20-minute show.
I enjoyed it so much that you could do a summer extension if you wanted to, and so I applied for that, and I extended, and I chose to change roles at that point. So I went to a merchandise role over in Hollywood Studios, and I worked at the Rock Around the Shop, which is the exit store for Rock and Roller Coaster, and Tower Gifts, which is the Tower of Terror gift shop, exit shop. So I worked at those two spots. I also loved it there. I had the best time.
And then the other thing I do for the Disney company that I still do is I work for Disney Event Group, which from time to time they'll give me a call and say, hey Sage, will you come and sing Happily Ever After for these corporate clients? So,
and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a DCP rant, but it made me grow up. While being in a still very safe and taken care of environment, I had to kind of learn how to fend for myself. I had to put myself out there. I did not know a single soul when I moved down here, and it was wonderful and so good for me, and I enjoyed every second of it. So if you're curious about it, definitely consider doing it.
People really want to know, what is your favorite thing to do outside of work? I know at least for one girl, this is going to be a very boring answer. It's Emma.
Uma shaded me a little bit, but she's not necessarily wrong. My favorite thing to do outside of work is be a homebody. I love to sit at home. I love to read. This year I've been really interested in just developing new hobbies that are not on my phone or with technology. So I journal almost every single night. I've been scrapbooking, and I I weirdly went through a phase where I cross-stitched a lot, but probably my favorite thing is reading. I'm very, very passionate about it. I've always been a big reader my whole life. It's why I love Percy Jackson so much. And just spending time with my family and read, like that's really all I do.
My favorite thing to do outside of work is play Dungeons and Dragons. I play 1 to 2 times a week. Thursday night is a big D&D night for me, and I find it to be a really great creative outlet, a writing outlet, and a social outlet. So I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Honestly, I'm a homebody. Always have been, always will be. So most likely if I'm not working, I'm on the couch. I'm watching TV or a movie. And I will watch anything and everything. Does not matter what it is. That is what I love. I could easily binge watch a show for 8 hours a day. I have no problem about sitting on that couch. And next, keep playing. Yes.
My favorite thing to do outside of work is work more. That's not a joke. I love what I do, and I'm not talking about specifically AllEars. I like performing, and I like singing. I like doing all those things. So when I'm not working on AllEars stuff, I'm working on my own things, like my band, Sound Up. Now on a personal note, I love to, I have a new daughter. I got a new baby. So family time is super important right now. It's important to be there for the moments because Shannon and I, we're one and done. This Violet's probably going to be our only one. So we want to enjoy every moment and experience every moment. So sometimes, we'll take her downtown downtown with our garden. Sometimes we'll even take her to Disney. We'll take her to the playground, silly things like that. Just normal, to the swimming pool, normal family stuff. Nothing super crazy or out of the ordinary. Just being a normal person stuff.
Now we're wrapping up. We only have one other question, but just in case anybody wanted to share anything fun and personal, we gave them the opportunity. So here's that if they wanted to share. Hi,
I'm Lucky. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty. It's literally, I haven't done this in maybe 2 years. This one is really for me to show to the editor. Because I keep saying, anytime we have corrupted footage, because things happen from time to time, I think we should reenact it like Sesame Street. And I call this Corruption Raccoon. I am Corruption Raccoon, and your footage has been corrupted. Because I'm a raccoon, I can look for trash like this. And then I can scurry. And I can scurry. Because it's a prop. Scurry. Scurry, scurry, scurry. Scurry, scurry. Well, that was, interesting.
And for the last question, as we're kind of wrapping up, just scratching the surface of our personality, of our behind the scenes of Disney World, we're literally just scratching the surface, okay? There was one question that was submitted more than any other question. And I think it's finally time that somebody answered. So, how did Fry Bucket get her name?
I don't know if I'm ready to tell you that story. It's a really crazy story, and you might not feel the same way about me after you hear it.
It's actually not that complicated of a story. Fry Bucket is kind of, she's a traveler. And one summer she went kind of deep into the jungles of Guadalajara.
She and I were in the Amazon rainforest.
She was down in Colombia.
And we were looking for a new species of giant fly.
She was going there to once and for all get to the root of who invented arepas. And arepas, of course, have to be fried.
She'd fall into a vat of frying oil, and they fried her.
And there was this torch, right? This torch that she lit, but the fumes from it, it kind of got into her psyche a bit, and she was lost. She was lost for almost a week.
She looked like a French fry, very small. They didn't even realize until she was like, "Help, I'm not a fry, please don't serve me."
and she caught one of the flies in a bucket, and we were like, yes, we got the fly bucket. And she misspelled it when she was texting like me again later, and she said fry bucket, and we thought that was so hilarious as a typo that that's what we call her.
And it just ends up being this like cathartic, emotional, moving experience for her. It takes her back to this Guadalajara experience where who knows what happened to her in those 7 days. I mean, she went in there one person and she came out 4 people. Yeah, Fry Bucket's actually 4 different people.
And when I met her, I was kind of resistant to, I refused to call her that. But I finally gave in, and now I don't even remember her real name. So Fry Bucket it is. And by the way, I love arepas. I can't eat the ones with cheese, but you know, they have many other varieties.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you're ready for it. I don't think you can handle it. So maybe one day.
Okay, friends, thank you for listening to Uma's bad accents and getting to know a little bit more about how this all happens, how it all gets made, and a little bit more about us. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now go check out Disney World 101. I'll see you over there.